We comfort ourselves with a soothing lie that the night sky is peaceful, that the universe is silent, beautiful, distant, and ultimately harmless. But beyond the thin veil of air that cradles our Earth, space isn't a sanctuary. It is a graveyard of worlds. It's a realm where planets are incinerated by radiation, crushed by unfathomable gravity, drowned under toxic atmospheres, and frozen in a darkness so profound that even the light from our own sun begins to die within it. And the deeper we journey into our solar system, the more terrifying it becomes. Our chilling voyage begins at the very edge of the sun, with Mercury, the closest world to our star. This scorched planet is locked in a brutal gravitational embrace. From its barren surface, the sun appears enormous, more than 3 times larger than it does from Earth. A colossal sphere of nuclear fire hanging in a perpetually pitch-black sky. During the day, temperatures soar above 400 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. But Mercury's cruelty has 2 faces. With almost no atmosphere to trap the heat, the inferno vanishes the instant darkness falls. Night's arrival plunges the planet to a bone-chilling minus 180 degrees Celsius. On Mercury, existence oscillates endlessly between incineration and a deep freeze. A silent world, eternally condemned to suffer beneath the very star that birthed it. If Mercury embodies suffering, then Venus is outright hell. From orbit, it almost mimics Earth. Similar in size, similar in gravity, similar in structure. But this planet is a stark warning from the universe itself. Beneath its perpetual sulfuric clouds, an atmosphere so dense would crush a human body in mere moments. Sulfuric acid rains relentlessly from the sky, and surface temperatures approach nearly 500 degrees Celsius, even hotter than Mercury. This isn't because Venus is closer to the Sun. It's because its runaway atmosphere has trapped so much heat that the entire world has transformed into a scorching, unyielding furnace. Nothing survives here. No oceans, no rain, no life-bearing wind. Only desolate rock, crushing pressure, and an endless, suffocating blaze beneath a sky no human would ever clearly see. Venus is the catastrophic consequence when a planet loses all control of its own climate. And then there is Earth, a fragile anomaly impossibly suspended in the cosmic darkness. From space, the atmosphere that protects every forest, every ocean, every city, and every human life appears almost invisible. A membrane, thin as paper, delicately wrapped around a desolate rock. Everything we have ever known, everything we cherish, exists beneath this delicate, life-giving layer of air. One small instability, one tiny disruption, and the void would relentlessly claim everything. Next to Earth floats the moon, silent, scarred, ancient. Its face bears the indelible wounds of billions of years of impacts, the stark remnants of an era when the inner solar system was a crucible of violence. The moon isn't merely a dead satellite. It is enduring proof of the cataclysms Earth has weathered, a silent witness to our planet's violent past. Humanity dreams of reaching Mars, of building cities under its distant crimson skies. But Mars isn't waiting to welcome us with open arms. It is the lifeless corpse of a world that once, perhaps, was vibrant and alive. Billions of years ago, mighty rivers likely carved its surface. Vast oceans could have covered entire regions of the planet. Then, Mars lost something vital. Its core cooled, its protective magnetic field dissipated. Without that crucial shield, solar radiation relentlessly stripped its atmosphere into space. What remains today is an icy, irradiated desert. Olympus Mons, a volcano almost 3 times taller than Mount Everest, pierces the thin air. Titanic dust storms swallow entire continents, and the wispy atmosphere can barely retain a whisper of heat. Mars is more than just a dead planet. It is a profound vision of planetary extinction. Beyond Mars lies a vast, sprawling field of debris, countless fragments orbiting the Sun. These are the remnants left over from the solar system's violent birth, worlds that never quite finished forming. Some are small enough to fit inside cities. Others stretch for hundreds of kilometers. They drift silently through the cold darkness between planets, ancient ruins that whisper of a brutal, primordial beginning. And beyond them, something truly enormous awaits. Jupiter, the undisputed largest planet in the solar system. Over 1,000 Earths could fit inside its swirling mass, and this colossal giant would barely register their presence. There is no solid ground here, no surface to stand on, only endless layers of clouds descending into an unfathomable darkness. As Jupiter's immense gravity pulls matter deeper toward its core, pressure builds to unimaginable limits. Hydrogen itself begins an alchemical transformation into liquid metal. And above this abyss, planet-sized storms rage with untamed fury. The Great Red Spot, a cyclonic vortex wider than Earth, has been churning relentlessly for centuries. Jupiter doesn't feel like a mere planet. It feels ancient, like a colossal force of nature that existed long before humanity drew its first breath, and will continue long after we are gone. From a distance, Saturn appears almost tranquil, a pale golden world, exquisitely enveloped by brilliant, shimmering rings. But beauty in space is often a deceptive illusion. Those rings aren't solid structures. They are trillions of fragments of ice and rock, each orbiting at immense, deadly speeds. A giant storm of countless debris swirling around the planet like razor-sharp blades. Deep beneath Saturn's elegant clouds, thunderstorms ignite with an energy thousands of times more powerful than any on Earth. And at Saturn's North Pole, a giant hexagonal storm endlessly rotates within its atmosphere. No one truly understands why it exists. A perpetual mystery, a swirling monument to the unknown. The deeper we peer into the solar system, the more profoundly strange it becomes. Far beyond Saturn, the sunlight begins its final, dramatic dimming. Here, the sun no longer feels mighty. It is merely a distant, fading star. And in this ever-deepening cold darkness floats Uranus, a planet unlike any other known. Long ago, something catastrophic likely slammed into this world with such immense force that the entire planet was knocked onto its side. Now, Uranus rolls through space almost horizontally, a cosmic oddity. For decades at a time, entire regions of the planet remain trapped in perpetual darkness. Its atmosphere is an icy ocean of hydrogen, helium, and methane. Temperatures plummet rapidly towards absolute zero. Uranus feels less like a vibrant world and more like an abandoned relic, drifting mournfully at the very edge of the light. And finally, we encounter Neptune, the last giant planet before the vast, empty expanse of interstellar space. At this immense distance, sunlight is barely a whisper. This world should logically be silent, frozen, still. But it is not. Neptune's atmosphere explodes with supersonic winds exceeding 2,000 kilometers per hour, the fastest planetary winds ever detected. Titanic storms swirl relentlessly in the perpetual twilight, carrying frozen methane ice across a world barely illuminated by the faint, distant sun. Neptune exists in a realm where day resembles an infinite, frozen twilight, a planet of endless, violent storms, wandering the cold, lonely frontiers of the solar system. Beyond Neptune, the familiar boundaries of the solar system dissolve into absolute darkness. Here drift the scattered dwarf planets, Pluto, Eris, Haumea, Makemake. Small, exquisitely frozen, and almost entirely forgotten. On Pluto, the feeble daylight is dimmer than a moonlit night on Earth. These distant worlds receive so little heat that entire landscapes remain locked beneath ancient, pristine ice for billions of years. No bustling cities will ever rise here. No vast oceans will ever return to their shores. Only profound silence remains. And beyond this final, frozen frontier, there is nothing but the interstellar night, an ocean of darkness stretching further than the human mind can possibly comprehend. We are tiny creatures, living precariously in a thin layer of air, wrapped around a fragile, delicate world. And yet somehow, amidst all this cosmic violence and unimaginable hostility, Earth still breathes.
For now.